Dog, she's in this stream. Oh, I can zoom the camera. Awesome. So I don't know if it's very obvious for like the three people that tuned into the very short test live stream yesterday. I do not know what I am doing. I'm kind of trying to like learn how to like not make the worst non-object show content the world has ever seen. I don't know if you guys tuned into last night's live stream. That was like me trying to see, can I live stream or will it crash and burn? What was the answer? Probably crash and burn, considering like 2 minutes in, it just stopped working. It says there's somebody okay, and they left, and I honestly do not blame you. It is the screen right now is just water because I don't want my face on there. You can look at my dog, but she's currently licking dirt off the patio. I've taken a sip of the water. Yeah, I can't guarantee how long this live stream is gonna be because number one, I'm outside and it's getting dark, and so the mosquitoes are coming out, and do not. I'm not very fond of those guys. They're very fond of me, and that's kind of the entire problem with that. Also, once it gets dark, I also feel like probably not gonna be a very I mean, as if it's good right now. I just have an open bottle of water sitting on the table and, like, occasionally my dog so we have chickens. I don't know if you guys watch my YouTube shorts. If you did, you'd know we have chickens. They seem to have put themselves in their little pen. I keep getting off topic. Oh my god. ADHD moment. I have that in case you didn't know. Fun trivia fact. I would do drawing again, but I don't know if people tuned into yesterday's, but like the very brief drawing section I did was really bad because I'm not good at holding a camera with one hand and drawing with the other one. And I made probably one of the worst things I've drawn in a long time. If you're watching this afterwards, probably don't do that. There's better things you could be spending your time on than on the topic of like current events on the channel. Ooh, BFOHR coming back. That's exciting. Not really. Like, everybody's least favorite show from 2023 that's still getting dragged out. I did a Portal 2 video and you could just hear how awkward I was in that video. It's so bad. I'm like barely talking and I'm talking really quietly. The other part of that is also why I'm not doing this live stream on my computer or something. And that's because OBS, the recording software, not the object show, doesn't seem to like me very much. It starts making my computer lag, and the footage it records is also really laggy. So, laggy footage of a laggy computer doesn't make for a really great recording experience. It's kind of funny, but also like I feel like for anything longer than like 2 minutes, it's gonna get irritating. Well, there's 5 viewers now. Am I bringing back? I'm not, dude. It is really funny you ask that. Actually, am I bringing back? I'm not turning off my fan. Like, I think I remember you mentioning you had checked the wiki and saw 4 people debuting. That updated version of the show, that is not what I'm going with. I'll post the audio I had recorded because I did record the whole episode, but I listened back to it recently and I'm like, "Man, this is not a good episode." And I've decided I'm no longer going to retcon Chicken Jockey. Chicken Jockey, everybody's favorite character, is getting their well-deserved spot on the show. Yay, Chicken Jockey, everyone's favorite character. It's a joke show. I don't need to be taking it that seriously. OBS is like the recording video thing, but it's also really laggy when I record. Yeah, I have the same issue. Everybody's like, dude, OBS is like the best thing ever for recording anything. That's true. Like, it's free and it functions. But for me, I don't know. Like, I think it's because my laptop is just actually terrible. But whenever I record anything with OBS, it makes my computer lag horrifically bad. So not only is the computer already lagging, but the footage itself is laggy. So usually it's laggy footage of a laggy computer, which results in like your favorite thing of like 5 frames a minute, maybe. And sometimes it'll just freeze. Eventually it'll just stop working, which is also just awesome. Love it when that happens. I've come to the realization that maybe OBS is not my friend, which is fine. I don't know. I'm not much of a gamer. Crazy reveal here. I've always been, I like sitting in my room and I like making silly object shows. I like making object shows as a grown adult. I don't know if you guys can tell. I don't really run my channel super professionally. It's very much based on whatever I feel like doing. Man, I've been streaming for 20 minutes. It does not feel like I've been streaming for 20 minutes. I have been getting mauled by mosquitoes, but you know what? I'm having fun, so I'll keep streaming for a little bit. I was thinking of doing like a creator commentary on BFOH Reheated by basically like playing the episodes on my TV and talking about them. Really unprofessional way of doing that, but, like, until I can get my screen recording working, I don't really know what else I can do. I don't know if that'd be very fun, but I don't know, I just think, like, it's been so long since those episodes came out, it might be fun to, like, take a look at them in 2026, maybe give some insight and some trivia facts maybe, because there's definitely a lot of things I can say about those episodes and, like, the production of them, because, like, especially BFOH Reheated 1, that was my first ever, like, high effort production, like, ever. Okay, it says I have 0 viewers, and I can't tell if this is because the stream cut out or if everybody just left, because last time when I hit 0 viewers, it wasn't because everyone left, it was because the stream cut out. With BFOHR, like, that was my first ever high effort show. That was my first time scripting an episode, getting it voice acted by, like, multiple people, and having multiple animators, and actually finishing the episode. There were a few things before that I don't didn't see the light of day. Again, most voice actors just didn't do lines, and also the scripts weren't really that great. I might do videos or like a stream or something covering the original scripts. I have them in my sketchbook because I scripted things really poorly back then. How old was I when I started making my channel, and who inspired me of my YouTube name? There's two very different answers for this, depending on if you're asking YouTube as a whole or YouTube this specific channel, when I started this specific channel. So I would say when I first did YouTube originally, this is on another channel, by the way, and this one isn't linked anywhere because it's kind of embarrassing. But my mom, when I was like 6 years old, tried to make a Ryan Toys review style channel starring me, and it was really embarrassing. And I really don't like those videos, but I've basically been on YouTube since then. However, I moved to this specific channel. So obviously a huge inspiration for getting into object shows was, no surprise, BFB. This is a lot of people's inspiration. That's not too surprising. I had gotten into the OSC like 12 days after BFB 12 came out. Horrible timing because of the BFB 12 hiatus where, BFB 13 was a large work in progress for a long time, but that was how I first discovered the OSC, and I actually made my first object characters that exact night. Seven and Bacon were the first object show characters I ever made, and I made them the night I discovered BFB. I had never seen another object show before, but I was immediately making object characters. I don't know what that says about object shows, if they're just like a medium that just naturally encourages people to make things, but as for my first few videos on this channel, my biggest inspiration at the time, Sakri stuff. I've really liked Sakri for a long time. I started watching her like 3, 4 maybe episodes after Battle for Grandma started, so I've been around for a while. And yeah, huge inspiration in general was Sakri, but especially Battle for Grandma. You can even hear it in the Battle for Control the World intro because I literally just used the Battle for Grandma opening song, and I credited Sakri for that song even though she didn't even make that. Well, hold up, I think part of the question was, my YouTube name. Um, so that's a long process. My username has changed a lot of times. When trying to think of things, I had another channel that had lightning in the name. I don't even have the login anymore. Because of that lightning thing, I took the name Stormy, so it was Stormy Studios. There was an issue with this name, however. I liked it. The issue with Stormy Studios is that I was not the only Stormy Studios. And when you're a small channel, that can be a bit of a problem because search results, it just so happens that you don't really be the top result, especially when you're a smaller channel. And what's weird is even when I was the top subscribed Stormy Studios, I still did not show up as the top result for some reason. It still showed like 4 other channels before me. So eventually I was like, okay, I'm tired of this. I want like a new username, something that is more reflective of me. I think I changed my username in 2021. I wanted something more reflective of like the person I had become after then. And so I was like, I started drafting up a new name. I don't remember a lot of the names I was considering, but I do remember that in the earlier versions of my username, I had really considered going for something with toffee and caramel in it. I don't remember why. I don't even really like caramel, so I don't know why I was going to do that. But eventually, I thought of having liminal in my name because I was really, really, really into liminal spaces, like a bunch, because I was a freaking nerd, and I still am now. So, while trying to come up with names, I was like, okay, well, one thing I liked about Stormy Studios is the alliteration name. Like I was like, alliterations are cool. I wanted something like that. So, when trying to think of something that sounded good, I eventually thought of Liminal Latte. Because alliteration, and I don't know, I thought latte was like a cute word. I thought that made for a cute username. And for like a little while, my friends were like, why would you change it to that? But nowadays, I'm like, I like that so much more than I like Stormy Studios. Stormy Studios was just not a great username. It was really generic and boring, and I think Liminal Latte, even if it's not a perfect name, is better in that regard. So yeah, that's how I came up with my current username. And I'll let you in on a little secret. I have been considering changing it a second time. Whoa, crazy. That's just because I made it in 2021. It's not super reflective of me as a person now, but, it's like, I just worry that, like, I don't know, my name has been on so many things now, it's on Shape World Caffeinated, which is, oh, big, big video, popular-wise. It's on, Obama Hamburger, and it's like, I just feel like it's probably a little too late to change it. But then again, if Greenie could change to Jam Jacket, maybe it's not too late. Maybe I'm overthinking it because I drank all my water. So I've been talking so much that I'm just like drinking this water like crazy because I keep like my throat keeps getting dry. Ugh. But now I'm out of water. I don't know. Sorry, I keep yapping. Okay. You have so much thought behind this. Yeah, I know. It's like I'm a nerd. I can't just like not think about these things so much. Like it's like I gotta overthink everything because what if I do something stupid and then like I immediately regret it? Fortha has been one of the names I was considering, but like I'm not 100% sure on that name. My goal with like the new username, if I do change my username, would be like I kind of want something like Sacri, like where it's like one of those like short, snappy, like made up word sounding names. I don't know. I was trying to think of something that like sounds like latte or still kind of has latte in it, but like I don't know, it's hard. I came up with like a whole list of names, but I don't know, none of them really stuck. Fortha has been my favorite so far, but even then, like it's not perfect. And like I feel like I don't like it as much as I did when I first thought of it. Man, my voice is really giving up. I really should grab another water. Like I don't want my voice to procedurally get worse as I keep screaming. But yeah, with usernames, it's like it's hard because like that a username is like a very defining part of your identity on YouTube, and so it's something that's really hard to think of sometime because, like, if that's gonna be, like, your identity, you want something that's, like, that reflects you well. I don't know, I've always been jealous of people that, like, made a name at a really young age and just had never wanted to change it. There's a lizard, I think. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's I think what's a lizard is running around over there. This live stream is like the least organized thing I've ever done, but I'm having a lot of fun just kind of yapping and getting like I don't know. I've always wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit more, like have a chance to like answer questions because like I know I'm not super good at communicating sometimes. Like certain videos that I'm planning on remaking or whatever will just they'll get a title change, they'll get, who knows what else, and then I just don't really go into much detail about it. And so like I understand that that's kind of confusing sometimes. And so I've been really, like, looking for more ways to, like, talk to you guys and, like, better answer questions, and also just I think live streaming is fun, and it's something I've wanted to do for a long time. What's going on with BFLS? Oh, I'm gonna be honest, it was an instance of I burned myself out on it really, really, really bad. When it comes to BFLS, you probably if you were around when it was coming out, maybe you weren't around back then, I don't really know. But I was posting episodes like crazy. They were coming out like 2 to 3 episodes like a week. I was like really pumping that show out, and that's because I was having a lot of fun with it. It was very much like the show is pure slop. Really, really, really into it. And so I was posting things like crazy, and like I kept wanting the show to go longer and longer and longer. So, I did the rejoin and I did the debut. So I kept and kept going, and like, I was like, we're doing a debut, we're doing a rejoin. Here's episodes dedicated to the failed debuters, and I just got so burnt out that I just like did not feel like doing the show anymore. It's been on hiatus. It's never been canceled per se. I've just haven't had the motivation to continue doing the show. So that's what's been happening. It's been on pause for a while. It'll come back at some point because it's literally like on the finale, I'm pretty sure, like 1 or 2 episodes off from the finale. So that's what's happening with that show. What software do I use? Depends on what part of the process you're talking about. So for audio, I do something really unprofessional and really stupid. I edit my audio and record my audio using GarageBand on my phone. I wouldn't say I recommend it because it's not really what GarageBand is made for, but like I already knew how to use GarageBand and I was too lazy to learn a proper audio editing software. So I just started using GarageBand for audio. And then when it comes to assets and backgrounds, I use Ibis Paint because uh making assets in ToonSquid is complicated, and I've been too lazy to learn how to do it. And I've been using Ibis Paint for years, so that's just way easier for me to use than figuring out some new fancy software I don't know what I'm doing with. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, unsurprisingly, a little bit of a spoiler in there. Um, the thing I do my animation on is ToonSquid. It is an app for iPads. I don't think they have it on Android, sadly. According to a lot of people, it might even be better in some areas than Adobe Animate. I wouldn't say it's objectively better. I think both programs probably have areas where one is better than the other. But I can definitely say in pricing, ToonSquid absolutely destroys Adobe Animate because there is no way to do a single time purchase of Adobe Animate. Whereas ToonSquid, it's like $10, you have ToonSquid forever, and it's great. I can't say how long I'm going to be streaming. I think I got like 20 minutes before I probably got to hone it in, but I figured I'm having fun. So I'll stream for 20 more minutes. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take this chance since I'm just starting the stream to grab some water. So bear with me for just a moment while I'm grabbing some water. Yeah, I've made a lot of mistakes. Again, the one I tend to default to since it's pretty recent is when I accidentally left frozen fungus out of the first episode of convenience store soap entirely. I just chugged like half of my water bottle in a single gulp. Why did the same people win immunity in PFCSS 1 and 2? Um, was not intentional. I just really like those guys, so I ended up making them win. Um, yeah, wasn't really any kind of plot reason. I'm just dumb. I didn't mean to have them win twice, but I don't know. When I'm improvising, I tend to forget things, and so sometimes the same characters will just repeatedly win over and over and over again. So with Hamburger, right? Um, it was definitely a trend that stackers continuously kept losing challenges and Sewer Drain and Lawsuit Doc kept winning over and over and over and over again. But that show, the way it worked was a little interesting. So because it was improvised, right? And it was multiple people. Basically what we did was everybody was doing their own challenge solutions. So literally the people who won the challenges were completely based on whichever voice actor thought of a good solution the fastest. So the issue was just that Stacker's voice actor, like we were gonna let him win the slushy challenge, the double gulp challenge in episode 4, and he literally forgot that part of the point was stealing the double cup. So that's why he didn't win. We literally did that because his voice actor just forgot that was supposed to happen. So we thought it'd be funny if like, oh nope, you're up for elimination. So yeah, in BFOH, it was not like we did not really take into consideration like having balanced elimination things. We just did things based on who thought of good ideas for the challenges. Speaking of challenges that like changed and stuff, the episode 2 challenge, drink water, that was not the original challenge. So you know how lawsuit document just kind of shows up in episode 2 and everybody's like, "Oh, okay, you're in the show now. Why not?" Completely different. I think I even posted the unfinished audio onto Stormy Studios, but the original plan was lawsuit document was gonna show up and Globus was going to be like, "Oh no, we got to get rid of this guy." So the challenge was going to be catch lawsuit document and kick them out of the show. And the joke was going to be that everybody was going to fail to catch them, so they were just going to join the show by default, and everybody else was going to be up for elimination. After recording some of the audio myself, I was like, this challenge is kind of generic. A lot of shows have done the catch the random guy or catch the eliminated contestant or whatever. So I was like, this challenge has been done to death. And then also, Sewer Drain's voice actor was like, I want to have somebody drink hydrofluoric acid in the episode. So I was like, okay, new challenge. We'll have it be drink water. And at some point in the episode, you can give, Mr. Green's belt hydrofluoric acid instead of water. Another little trivia factoid, I guess, is that the episode 6, I think, challenge, the one that was do a pickup line on Glombus Wombus. That challenge idea was also by Lobster because he really wanted to do the Minecraft fence joke. He was like, please, Please, I want to put it in an episode. Another challenge that was thought of by Lobster was the eat a cup of dirt challenge in Better Than the Burger. So yeah, he thought of a few of those challenges. What if you did that, but they just had lawsuit document lose a life and then they debut? So honestly, like the strikes mechanic, I really like that mechanic, but we just did not use it well in Obama Hamburger just at all. It's a really good mechanic, and Toxic was actually the one that thought of the strikes mechanic. And he was gonna use it for his own show, but he never ended up really making it. He made a bunch of characters, which he ended up giving me because he just decided, "Actually, I don't really think I'm capable of making a show even if you do the majority of the work." So he just gave me the characters and was like, "Feel free to use the strikes for whatever you want." Um, it's probably not even really that subtle. Textbook was very obviously, specifically created to be the first boot. He was deliberately tailored to be kind of annoying, and the ironic thing is that now that he's had so many episodes to shine, I actually really like Textbook now. I think he's really funny. I deliberately created Textbook to be a first boot, and I think he served well as a first boot. I hope he gets a chance to do more. He has the backrooms thing going on, and I've had like a lot of ideas for how we could use that in different ways to do kind of like fun stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I want to promise that Textbook and Stackers get a bit of a chance to shine in like a bigger capacity at some point. What specifically that entails, I don't know yet. Michael's show, there's a decent chance it happens. I think the concept lends itself well to kind of a fun show, and it's a show I wouldn't really have to commit to very much. It's like you do one episode and that's the show. You know what I mean? Like as like unlike other shows where like it's a bit of a commitment, like you got to be like, okay, is this something I'm gonna be willing to commit to finishing, or at least, I feel committed enough to attempt to finish it. Um, Michael's show is like you make one episode and you're done with that season. So yeah, there's a decent chance it happens at some point. Maybe since I'm trying to post more, maybe Michael's show finally gets to see the light of day and gets its proper appreciation it's always deserved. But that'll that'll have to wait to see.